I have had enough. We're getting a divorce. You stole the $15,000 I've been sending, didn't you, Taylor? My husband erupted in anger as soon as he came home from work, confused and unable to grasp what was happening. I watched as Taylor, his face flushed with rage, continued accusingly, "I just got a call from Walter. You haven't been sending them any monthly allowances, and you didn't even celebrate your new baby. All this time you've been using the money I gave you for whatever you pleased, haven't you?" Of course, I had been sending monthly allowances to Walter and his family. In fact, I had just given them a gift for their newborn today. Yet, how could he say we hadn't received it? I did give it to them properly. Don't lie to me. No matter how much I denied it, Taylor wouldn't listen to my words. "Listen, from now on, I'm not giving you any more money for living expenses. I'll forgive you only if you take a baby shower gift to Walter and his family. If you don't, I'm fine with us getting a divorce." "Fine. Let's get divorced then." Ignoring Taylor's surprise, I loved the house. I had been working part-time at a supermarket, struggling to support our tight family budget. Despite managing the household finances and even sending money to Walter's family, being treated like a thief was unbearable. I couldn't continue with someone like Taylor who wouldn't listen and only blamed me. As for Walter and his family, who effortlessly lied and painted me as the villain, I decided to cut ties with them too. I'm Michelle, 52 years old. I work part-time at a supermarket. I got married at 22 and soon had a child. My husband, Taylor, works in sales for a beverage company and always comes home late. So all the household chores and childcare were my responsibility. While my friends were out having fun, my days were filled with childcare and housework. There were days when it almost broke my spirit, but I persevered, reminding myself that it was the life I had chosen. The relentless days of housework and childcare ended when our son, Walter, went to college. He attended a local university and moved out for his studies and later for a job, allowing me some respite. During this time, Walter told me he wanted to marry a woman he met. Feeling nostalgic that he had grown up so fast, we arranged to meet her in our home. On the day of the family meeting, the woman he brought home was Anastasia. She was bright and always laughing, and Walter was smiling throughout. I was genuinely happy that Walter had found such a wonderful person. Both Taylor and I supported Walter's marriage, and they got engaged and married without any issues. Half a year after their wedding, on a day when both Taylor and I were relaxing at home, Walter and Anastasia came over. "Dad, I have a favor to ask. Can you give us a monthly allowance?" What brings this on all of a sudden? Stunned, Taylor and I opened our eyes wide at Walter and Anastasia, who looked apologetic as soon as they entered. "Actually, we are thinking of starting infertility treatments, but we are short on money." "Infertility treatments? Is that really necessary?" "These days, many people are doing it. We want to start a family soon." I understood where Walter and Anastasia were coming from, but they had only been married for half a year. It seemed too soon. People are having kids even in their mid-30s these days. "Anastasia, you're only 30, so I don't think you need to worry so much." "What if I can't get pregnant? You had kids early, so you can't understand how I feel being childless at 30. Anastasia suddenly raised her voice. Surprised by her outburst, I listened as Walter also nodded and spoke up. "That's right. Mom doesn't understand Anastasia's feelings. We're anxious, so we want to start the treatments as soon as possible. Dad, you agree, right? You want to see your grandchildren, don't you?" "Yeah, I understand. We'll help as much as we can. Thank you." Taylor nodded in agreement with Walter. If Taylor was fine with it, then it wasn't for me to say otherwise. But then Taylor said something shocking. "Then, take $15,000 out of our living expenses each month and give it to Walter." "What? From our living expenses? That's impossible. Taylor gives me $11,000 every month. From that, I pay the mortgage, Taylor's car loan, along with other living expenses, $15,000 for an allowance was never enough in the first place, but Taylor glared at me. Haven't you been saving any of the leftover living expenses? You didn't spend it all, did you? That's not it, but with the loan repayments and everything, there's no room for extra. No room. Managing the house is your job. You're useless, always wasting money. That's why we have none. I won't pay any more than this. Taylor refused to listen and went back to his room. It was unbelievable. Even the $11,000 a month was tough without being frugal, and now he expected me to give an allowance from our savings. However, once Taylor decides something, he won't listen to anyone. Stunned, I watched as Walter stood up, glancing at me. "Then, Mom, please take care of it." Saying this with a mischievous smile, the two of them left our house. But what could I do? I started a part-time job at a local supermarket. Every day was a struggle with a new job, but I worked hard to make ends meet for the living expenses and allowance for Walter and his family. I even added money from my earnings to just barely manage both. Yet the stress kept building as Taylor came home drunk almost daily, claiming it was for socializing. If only he saved that money, life would be easier. But bringing it up only led to arguments. I had no choice but to manage without relying on Taylor. Half a year later, by chance at work, I ran into Walter's childhood friend, Sophia. "Michelle, look, time no see. Is that you?" "Sophia, how have you been?" Exchanging greetings, Sophia smiled. "By the way, Walter is doing amazing, right? He got a good job." "What? Walter? He's just at S Corporation. Nothing extraordinary, really." "I thought he was earning